Yes, welcome to Friday Night Recovery Living Free. We're coming to you remote tonight with the COVID-19 thing going on. This is Roger McDermott. I wanted to welcome you and let you know that we're going to have a little music from Van, and then we're going to hear DJ's experience, strength, and hope as a result of the 12 Steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. So God bless you. Good night. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
my name is DJ. Today we're going to be talking about a topic called Just Do It, just like Nike. So first and foremost, with everything going on with COVID-19, I'm just wishing everybody well and safety and healthy, making sure that you're moving. If you're at home, just do a home workout. If you can, pick up the phone, call a friend, call a family member, and just check in with people. Right now it's a tough time for everybody, so it's all about us coming together and really loving on each other at this moment. So what I'd like to do is I want to relate the Just Do It to recovery as well as working out. So they're both very close to my heart, and I just want to be able to touch on some things and what I do for myself, and hopefully it'll help you guys out. So I've worked in the gyms for about 15 years now, and I've been in recovery for at least about 12 years, but I'm coming up on 4 years sobriety because I didn't get it the first time. But so with the gyms, when people come in for the first time, they want to get started on a workout program. They want to be able to lose weight or gain muscle or drop body fat percentage, but they don't know how to do it. So everybody that I sign up, I get set up with a coach. That way we can help give them a program to follow to get the result that they're looking to achieve. So now it's the same thing with recovery. When you first go into AA, you need to get a sponsor, have somebody to be accountable to, and have somebody outline the program for you of how it works so you can achieve the result that you're looking to achieve. So for me, working out and recovery kind of go hand in hand. What I want to touch on is, for myself, I just want to talk about my personal story. So I have a sobriety date of April 26th, 2016, which I'm extremely grateful for. And now since the end of 2015, I have lost 100 pounds. So I set a goal, I was 335 pounds. I set a goal to lose 100 pounds, and I did drop down to 235. Right now I walk at about 240, so no judgments. What I'd like to talk about is being aware of your thought life and your self-talk. So I feel like it has a big part to do with making sure you're promoting positive thoughts and your self-talk to yourself is positive. Because if it's full of negativity, then you're never going to give yourself a chance to accomplish the goal that you have set forth. You want to encourage yourself and also encourage others. Now, there's a lot of forms of positive talk and negative talk for yourself as well as your thought life. And so it's just make sure that you're not beating yourself up all the time. When we first get started on a workout program, we're like, man, my goal is to lose 100 pounds. That's a big goal. Or when I was trying to get sober, I kept relapsing. I couldn't get sober, so I had a big goal in mind. But all we can deal with is today and just manage today. So I want to remind you guys that a positive thought bears ripe fruit, and a negative thought bears rotten fruit. So if you break that down, the enemy can get to us through our thoughts. So if we have negative thoughts of I cannot, I will not, I won't, then we're taking ourselves out of the game. But if we have a positive thought of I can, and this is how, and this is why, then we're actually giving ourselves a chance. Replace negative thoughts with positive thoughts. Replace I can with I cannot. Replace I will with I won't. And just as a reminder, if we fail to plan, then we are planning to fail. So make sure that you guys have a plan in place for whatever you're trying to accomplish. Now, be aware and think about what you're thinking about. We need to be mindful of our thoughts and really pay attention to what we're telling ourselves and make sure, is it from the Spirit or is it from the enemy? And when we set a goal in place, align your self-talk and your thought life with what the Holy Spirit would have for you. Things that are joyful, peaceful, freeing, right? Things that are happy, not things that are negative or condescending or self-pity or jealousy or envy or greed or any of those types of things. You need to really just be aware of it. Now, one thing that every morning when I wake up, I say, thy will, not mine, be done. So you guys can say that with me. Thy will, not mine, be done. And in that way, I know I'm aligning myself with God's will for my life. Because when DJ's in control, the wheels come off and I run it into the ground. But when I surrender and I give it to the Lord, then He helps pave the way for me one day at a time, because His mercy and His grace is good and just for today. Now, what I want to touch on, when you're setting a goal, really break down and write it down. This is kind of old school. A lot of people type stuff out. Whatever works for you is cool. But for me, I like to write down what the goal is and why is it important to me. The why is it important to you is going to be crucial, because whether it's for fitness or whether it's for sobriety or whether it's your profession or whether you're trying to meet a woman and get married, whatever it is, you need to know why you're doing what you're doing. And break it down every single day and find people to keep you accountable and keep a track of your progress that you make. Now, as far as myself, for my personal weight loss journey, I just want to share it with you guys so you understand, where I'm coming from. In late 2015, I weighed in around 325 pounds, and I'd set a goal for myself to lose 100 pounds. So I remember the moment I looked at myself for the first time with real clarity. I had clarity, I was sober, and I looked at myself and I said, man, how did I get here? I've been working in the gyms for years and I allowed myself to get to this point. So I made a decision to make a change because I was tired of living that way. And so my first workout that I actually did was 10 sets of 10. So it was a 300 rep count total, 10 sets of 10 push-ups, 10 sets of 10 body weight squats, and 10 sets of 10 crunches. And let me tell you, I was broken off for like 4 days. I could not walk because I was so heavy and I could barely move my own body weight. But in that moment, I made a decision to never let myself fall off my workout program again. And to this day, I'm still consistent. Working out is a big part of my recovery. Now, I started the strength training and incorporated weights, and I still to this day work out. I had linked up with one of my brother Will at the time, and he was my roommate, so we used to work out 5-6 days a week. He kept me accountable, I kept him accountable, and it was something that we did, and it was part of our program because we were both in sobriety and we were both working out, right? Now, it is a way of life. Now, there's going to be days where I don't want to do it. I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to go to that meeting. I don't want to call my sponsor, right? But you just have to do it, right? That's why we're touching on this. Just do it. Don't make excuses. Don't get caught up in your feelings, because feelings aren't facts and it will pass. I promise you that. But just do it. Now, as far as my personal sobriety decision, it was April 26th, 2016. So my birthday is actually April 25th. And it was the day after my birthday. I woke up alone in my apartment on the floor, because I sleep on the floor when I pass out instead of the bed. And I went to the fridge and there was a full bottle of booze, and I looked at it and I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I remember that moment and I'll never forget it. I prayed, Lord, please relieve this obsession to drink and help me today stay sober. And that was all I wanted. And I grabbed the bottle and I dumped it down the sink. And since that date, I've never looked back. But for me, I was done. I made a decision to just do it, no matter what, right? And life was still in session. I didn't have a job. I didn't have any money. I was brand new to sobriety. I was super uncomfortable, but I made a commitment to myself to not pick up a drink no matter what, because I knew where that would lead me. Jails, institutions, and death. And through that, the way I got through it was when I wake up every single morning, I pray for the strength to stay sober today. And I would go and work out to be productive, and then make sure that I had my meals throughout the day, and that I was trying to search for a job. And I was trying to apply to different gyms because I've worked in the gym business for a long time, which I love to help people through fitness. And in 2016, about 4 months after I got sober, I started with the company that I currently work for now, and I'm still employed by them. I've been able to work for that company, and God has blessed me in it with different promotions and things like that, of where I can actually make a living and still help people, and it just helps myself. So it really, in return, it just helps me. But I want to touch on a fact of the no matter what. So the no matter what club. Now what that means is I don't get high, I do not get drunk, no matter what. I'm angry, doesn't matter. My feelings are hurt, doesn't matter. I got a flat tire on the truck, doesn't matter. I do not pick up a drink or a drug no matter what, just for today. Now I don't live in the future and don't live in the past. God's grace is sufficient for today, and we are meant to live in today. So that's why no matter what, we do not pick up a drug or a drink. And just keep yourself accountable, make a phone call, get out of yourself and humble yourself before the Lord. Our pride tells us that we have it all figured out, and it is a lie. We need to humble ourselves before the Lord, understand that we don't know what we don't know, and ask questions for help and direction. Now, another thing that I would like to touch on that's helped me out a lot is an attitude of gratitude. So when I'm going through it, or I'm in a funk and things aren't going the way I want them to go, the way my will is, first I say, thy will, not mine, be done. And I repeat myself that to bring myself back to center and back to balance. But I'm still grateful for a lot of things. And a few of the consistent things that I'm always grateful for is number 1, my freedom. Number 2, my sobriety. And number 3, my friends and family. And no matter what I'm going through, I'm always grateful for those things. And what I personally do is I like to go down to the beach, practice a little bit of prayer and meditation. And I have a place that I like to go to where I can just disconnect. And I go down there around 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. There's nobody else around. It's just me and the Lord. And we're spending time, and I'm in a place that's peaceful, calming, and can kind of help restore me back to balance when I get out of whack. Now, the steps are the most important part for Alcoholics Anonymous. You know, getting a sponsor and working the steps. I relate it to when you join a gym, you get a coach, they develop a nutrition plan, a strength training plan, and now teach you how to do it so you can achieve that result of losing 10 pounds. Same thing. I want to get sober. Okay, get a sponsor, work the steps, all 12 in a row, and allow him to teach you how to stay clean and sober one day at a time. Or she, if you're a female. I don't think women should have male sponsors, but that's another topic. And just remember that it is a program of action and change. You know, it's like a good friend of mine, Roger, always says, action and change. If there's no action, there's no change. If there's no change, there's no action, right? So we need to be changing for the better. And that's all that for myself that I try to do each and every day, is just become the best version of myself, whatever that may look like. It is a program of rigorous honesty. So you have to be 100% honest with your sponsor. You know, tell him or her everything, because you cannot hold anything back. As much as you put into it is what you will receive out of it. I promise you that. It's like the verse, you will reap what you sow, right? And for me, I like to have certain verses memorized within my thought life, because it helps me get through some of the tough times. And I want to share one with you guys. Is Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. And that verse has got me through some of the toughest times of my life. Times where I was extremely nervous to accomplish something, or times when I felt alone, times when I felt broken, or, you know, my feelings got hurt and I got angry, whatever it might look like. That verse has always kept me centered. I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me, because it empowers me. You know, with God all things are possible. With man some things are possible. So where are you going to put your trust and reliance upon? God or man? I'm going to go with God, because he knows better than I do. Now, I also want to remind you guys to practice contrary action, right? So we need to learn that, for myself anyways, I needed to learn that in certain situations I got what I got out of it because I put what I put into it. So I need to do something different. You know, it is more important to love than be loved. It is more important to comfort than be comforted. And just being able to practice these contrary actions, when my head tells me to do one thing, but the Spirit tells me to do another thing, I go with the Spirit. Am I perfect? No, nobody is. We're human. We have flesh. Nobody's perfect. But just try to actually pay attention to it. Is this thought coming from the Spirit, or is this coming from the flesh? Would God be pleased with me doing this, or would he be displeased with me doing this? And if we want to live in peace and harmony and have balance, our goal is to live in the will of God, because that's the only way that comes. Now, one thing that I want to remind you guys is to expect trials, to expect suffering, to expect things to not come easy. And a lot of people get tripped out on that. Like, well, no, wait, I'm supposed to get sober and then everything's smooth sailing. And that's not real. That's not life. You know, when you get sober, everything is real. Everything that you have ran from through alcohol or drugs or whatever addiction that you put in that place becomes real, and you have to learn how to step into that new territory, confront it, and get through it. And that's the only way that you can actually really do that. So my goal for you guys is to remind yourselves in hard times, just do it. Things are not going to be easy. Whether you're joining a gym and you have a goal, weight loss goal of losing weight, just do it. No excuses. You are relapsing or you want to get sober, I get it. I relapsed for 6 years before I got sober. That's some truth for you, right? But by the grace of God, on April 26th of this month, I will have 4 years of sobriety. That's not about me, it's about him. When I tried to run things my way, I failed miserably over and over and over again. So just do it. Make a decision, develop a plan, find people to keep you accountable, and take action every single day. Don't trip on the past and don't worry about the future. God's grace is sufficient for today. I promise you that, and I wish you all well. My name is DJ, and thank you for letting me share my story with you guys.